So this is again one of the question where I could see some errors in some of the cases. Okay.
Same here.
So
Me too. For that question.
like so let's say we are having a salary. So your salary, I'm saying, let's say your salary is having a like it is a 50,000. Okay, maybe $50,000 or rupees anyway. So this is your salary. So this will be how much percentage of your salary?
100%, right?
100%.
This is your 100%. Okay. So I wanted to calculate the 10% of this.
Yes.
I need to increase into the existing salary. Okay. So let's say uh, I have not created the tables, I believe. Okay. Check if I do not table. So how you will calculate the 10% normally? What is the criteria for that?
Times 1.10.
Salary times 1.1.
Yes. I did the same thing, 1.10.
Yeah, but how that is coming? I saw most of the answers are correct. Okay, some of the people has written it wrongly, but did you understand the logic behind it? Why we are taking 1.10?
Yeah, 100 plus 10.
100
Percent means 100, yeah.
10% of 100.
Right.
Yeah.
So we have to calculate the 10% of the 100 and we need to add that into the existing one. Right.
What's another way to do it?
No,
There is no way, other way.
no way.
Okay.
Okay, so that is the only thing we're learning. So normally how we will do is, if you want to do that in another way, we have that, but that will be quite, syntax will be
I
quite
did
different.
I did an update command.
Let me just see this, create this table. There's not an example into it. Update order amount, right?
Yeah, or update our order amount. It is in question number 8.
Number 80, order amount, okay. Get this table in the and then just add some of the as well. Okay, now this is one of the issue I would let you know. Okay, this is the one of the insert statement I have taken from one of the answer sheet. Okay, now what is this order date column we are having? What is the data type of it?
Date.
Whether we will be able to accommodate these kind of dates.
So we need to keep
Year will be
dash, I
first.
think.
Yeah.
2024 01-12.
Can do it.
The
So
one
we
you have is more like a varchar, but the date should be like the proper date one.
So we will be able to store these kinds of date. It will be quite difficult when you use the where clause, or maybe someone other is looking for this insert statements. Okay, so that will be quite challenging. So instead of that, make habit to use a valid date format like MMDDYY or DDMMYYY like that. Okay.
Um,
So I know
I
like this, whether you are inserting like this or inserting in the other way, the data while inserting into the table will be inserted in the same format. Okay. But to read this syntax, it will be quite challenging or it will not looks like. Okay. So you have to be use this. Okay. If you use something like August fully here. Okay. Or maybe September, and at that time you might have some spelling mistakes. Okay, so that way that may cause the issue. So I would recommend you to have the valid date format only, MMDDYYY, or maybe DDMMYYY like that. Okay, or YYMMDD. Anything is fine, but a date format. It should not have any characters. Even though you are good to insert this data, I know like it will be converted to a valid format only. But yeah, I would say like it should be like instead of inserting like this, we can have some different insert statements. Okay.
Shiv sir, how do we determine what kind of date format we need to write? What's the standard? Because in US it's MMDDYY, but here
Yeah.
I
In
used
the
a
same,
MMDD.
yes. So normally we go with MMDDYY. Okay.
Okay,
Uh, that is the standard process everywhere we will be using for inserting the data. Okay.
okay.
But we can insert some in some other way as well, where we can have the dates into this YYY. Okay, then we will be having MM and DD. Okay, in this way also we can insert the data YYMMDD. Then if we are uh, inserting in like this DD, MM and YYY. Okay, so this might mean like 3rd of June or 6th of March as well. Okay, but
Yeah.
you think like it will be like 6th of March, but no, it will be a 3rd of June when you are giving like this. But same way, if you are giving with hyphen, okay, so this will consider this will be the 6th of March. So when you are using the hyphen, it will consider this as a MM, DD,
Uh,
YYY. Okay, when you are using forward slash, it might consider this as a DD, MM, YYY. Okay, so these things should be considered while inserting the data.
okay, thank you.
Okay, yeah. Then coming back to our
I have a
questions on
question. What
update.
about YYY hyphen 0304, for example, year first. Here,
This,
the third
so
one,
this, when you are
third one.
giving the year first, it should be like this. It will consider this way,
Oh,
YYMMD,
okay. Okay, got it.
when you are giving the year as a first. Okay, so there are three formats we are having. This we call the standard is like 101. Okay, it is 101 style we call. Then this, sorry, this is forward slash GDMMYY. This we called 103 as a style. And third one we have YYMMDD. No, it is a 112 and this is a 101. So these are the three different styles we are having. This is a style. We will see what is style and all. But yeah, in this three way, you can give the data into your insert statements. Okay, and it will insert into the table. Okay. Yeah, then let's talk about this update now here.
So, while inserting the date type, how we can write the insert statement with the 101?
With 101,
Yes, sir.
so you have to give the date in this format while inserting the data here. It should be month, date, and year.
No, after providing the date, Is there any space do we have to write this 101?
No. This is for conversion, data conversion. That's why we will see this later. This is for data conversion actually. Now let's say you have stored the data into this format. Okay, but in your report you want in this format. You don't want to change that into the table, but in your select statement you want in some different format. So that conversion we can do using these styles. Okay, and we will see that later. Okay. Then yeah, we are having. Okay, so now we have this table, and now we wanted to increase the salary to 10%. Okay, so one another way we are having, which we can do instead of 1.1. Okay, so what is mean by, okay, now let's say I'll just select salary. Okay, and if I select salary into, okay, so 10%, how we will calculate? 10 divided by 100. Is it correct?
Mm.
So if I wanted to calculate 10% of my salary, so this is
Yes.
how I calculate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I will just write it here from. So in this
There is
invalid
no
calculate,
salary
so it
column.
is not
It
a
should
salary,
be
it is
order
order amount.
amount.
It's order.
Order
Yeah.
amount. Okay, it is an order amount. So in this way, okay. So what it is giving now, it is giving like order amount as a,
Columns.
it is giving directly zero here, right? Why it is giving zero? Because let's see, let's try it out. Salary into, so it will calculate. Okay, so it will calculate just a 10 percentage. Okay,
So
right?
we
It is not incrementing. So if you calculate 10%, it might be like
order
not
amount order into 10 plus 10, that we can
right. So here, this is just calculating the 10 percentage. In that, the 10 percentage should be added to the existing salary. Okay, so order amount plus this 10 percentage. So if you see here, the syntax is getting complex here. When you are writing this with divided by or with something like 10 by 100 by calculating it and all. Okay, it is still showing like 300 only. 10 percentage. Now why it is not getting calculated?
Can we do the like update command?
Sir, you have to close the bracket from a beginning and do end.
No, I don't think so. Salary we are having, so let me check.
Otherwise, we can do order amount into 1.1 simply.
Yeah, no, it is okay, the bracket issue only. So if you see here, so we are finding out the 10 percentage of the order amount using this much formula. Okay, and that 10% of amount we are adding into the existing order amount. Okay, so instead of that, whenever there is a percentage, okay, there may be 10 percentage, 5 percentage. So you just need to add that into the one. One is 100%. Okay, when you calculate 100%, 100 by 100, it will be always one. Okay, so if it is 10% or 5%, so you just need to add the value into the decimal. It is 5%, 1.05. If it is 25%, 1.25.
1.25.
This you have to keep in mind and multiply this value. If it has to be incremented, okay. If it is has to be decremented, what you will do?
Subtract that amount.
95%.
And
95.
We
Right.
have
So
1.3.
you will come into the reverse way. So you will do the minus of this one. Okay, we are having. So from that you will minus 0.5. So what you will get here? Oh no, sorry, I missed it.
yes, that's correct. 195.
Yes, correct. So you will get this as a 0.95. So with this you have to multiply. Right, so you'll get the revised salary by decreasing the 5% salary or whatever the order amount in the current existing amount. Okay, so in that way you will get. Okay, this will be very useful because this syntax, it may looks like complex some way, right? So instead of that, better you can just decide this value and you can like multiply by that calculated percentage value with your existing data. Okay, so instead of this, if I just say order amount into 1.10, okay, I'll get the amount with the revised percentage. Okay, by incrementing the percentage value, we'll get the revised order amount. Okay, so in this way, we can do that update. Okay.
One thing, so we get after decimal. So here we getting a decimal value, and then preceding is the 2.
Yeah, right. Because as we have calculated with this decimal, we got this decimal values. If you just write 1.1, because there are no values, there is no meaning after the decimal values to the zeros, right? So most of the time. So if you do, you will still get a single zero because there is one value after the decimal. Okay, so now if you want to get rid of this, you don't want these decimal values. Okay, now why it is coming with decimal? Because you don't know whether it is 12%, 13%. So in that case, your amount will not be the exact rounded value. Okay, you might get some different values as well. So that is the reason it is coming with the decimal, whatever point we are having. So if you don't want that decimal values, we have some uh, functions here. Okay, so that we can use cast function we are having. So where we can cast these values into the integer. So cast and convert two functions we have that we can use. So, but yeah, that we have not yet learned. So we'll talk about it. Okay. Okay, so we are having cast function that we use to modify the data type. Okay, and that data type we're not modifying into the table itself using alter command. This we are just displaying with the purpose. Okay, we can use this same in a update statement as well if you don't want. Okay, so cast we are having, and another we are having is a convert. So convert used for these data types here, like let's say we are having date in this format. Okay, so I would just say star comma convert. Okay, and to convert, I want to convert this data type into some different format. So I would say date format I want. Okay, but not in this YYMMDD. Okay, YYMMDD. I don't want this in this particular format. So what we can do is we can use the date and whatever the column name we are having, order date, and then we can give the style here 103. So okay, 103 is the DDMMYY, right? Should get in these. Why we are not getting. Hmm, let's see some other. I may have missed the data types. Every time it is getting same.
Order date as a date, and then a 101.
Yeah, I've given in the same, but I could see it is.
Convert order date as a date, and 101.
No, as date we use only for the cast. Okay. So that, yeah, using cast we can see because this convert might be changing the data type directly. So let's say cast, but there we don't have the option to pass the second argument like 101. We can use only the one argument. Okay,
That's
so We cannot use the 101. We can simply use here as date. Okay, and it is already in the date format, so there is no point. There is no point in that. We try with some different. So select convert into the date. Maybe for display purpose, I don't think it is using convert will use here. So let me check if I just use this varchar here, because we are just changing into the display purpose, and I will use the 101 now. Okay, now you see I'm getting a different format. It is like now DD and YYY. DD and YYY you are getting. Okay, 101. 103. If you see what we get DD YYY. Okay, same way if you use 112. Okay, we are getting without any hyphens or quotes. Okay, so if you want the dates in a different formats, just for a display purpose, we can use this convert function. So there are two functions we are having, this cast and convert. Okay, so cast is, let me open the notes alongside. Yeah, so we have this cast function. This cast function, it is a SQL Server function again. Okay, so cast function converts a value of any data type into a specified data type. So we can convert the, like we can change the data type of any value to a different value here. Like let's say from a date value, you want a date time value. So you can add that. From the numeric or from the money data type, you want to convert it to the integer. You can do that, or from integer to money you can integer to decimal you can do that. Okay, so cast is used to convert a value of any data type into a different but the specified data type. You can give the data type and that will be converted to that particular data type. Okay, so this is the syntax. Cast expression is nothing but the column name or the value, then as you have to give the uh, destination data type, or we can say the target data type. Okay, so that you have to give. So here, let's say, what is this table we are having? Okay, now this table we are having. So I want to see the order date. Okay, let's say date is, when I extract this data into the Excel, it is not getting correctly extracted. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to convert this data into the varchar format. So I can just mention like cast order date as varchar comma star. Okay, so this data is now in the varchar format, though you are not able to see, but this will be in the varchar format. So you can use this in your SSIS package and you can extract the data into the Excel. So now if this data is not working correctly in Excel, this varchar data will correctly load it into the Excel. Okay, so same way, order amount. Let's say you want the order amount in decimal, but that you don't want to change into your table. I just want to change that into this uh, select statement here. Okay, so I can use order amount as decimal. Okay, and we know default decimal. Okay, decimal, it is, say we are giving 3 2 or 5 2. Okay, so we will get the values into the decimal format. Same you can change to numeric or any other values as well. Okay, so whenever there is a need to extract the data in some different data format, this is mostly used in select statements. Okay, every time this cast and convert, both of these functions mostly used in a select statement. Very rare chances we are using that in a update or some inserts. Insert is not, it is not used, but select statement, this we use to convert the data for a temporary time. Okay, this is not permanently we are changing into the table. This is just in a select to get the required formatted data into the result set. Okay, and second function we have is a convert. So convert function converts a value again into a specified data type, but here we are having more arguments where we can give the data type. Here also we can give the data type. Okay, but we are having one option here to style. Okay, so this is mostly convert is used for the date function. Okay, so there are different styles we are having. Styles for convert date format. Okay, so there are different styles we are having in Microsoft. Okay, so that we can use this style. So one extra option we are having here to give the style to convert the value into the data type, and this is used for data type conversion, where you want a different kinds of date like MMYY, MMDD. You don't want hyphen. You want the month number or some month name as well. So we have that options. So instead of this, okay, if you use some 116, what you will get? Okay, it is not a valid style. This is a valid style, but we have this 122. There is some style number we are having. Okay, it is removing hyphens. There is some style numbers where we can see the table, sorry, month name as well. Okay, so these are the different styles we are having. Okay, 101, 103. If you see what is that style number? With milliseconds, it will give 112 is ISO YYMMDD format. So yeah, here is the format. This is the style number. Okay, and this is the format in which we will get the output value. 106 if you use, it is getting DD, MON, and Y. Yeah, so 106 if I use, I will get the month name as well. Like in short, like for January, it will be JAN like that. Okay, so you see here, I'll get the month name as well. So this is just for display purpose. Okay, again, it is not going to be changed into the actual table. So convert function is there, which is used for converting a value into a defined a different data type. Okay, by giving the style, we can convert the date into the different formats. And for styles, we are having this information on Microsoft website. What are the different styles we are having? 101, 102, 103, up to 111, no, 121 also we are there. 130. Okay, so these are the different styles we are having that we can use to convert our date format data into a like different formats like YYMM, DDMM like that. Okay, so these are the cast and convert functions we are having that to convert the data type for temporary period. Okay, when coming back to this, I did saw some of the people have writing these answers in a different format. Okay, like where city is equal to Pune and where city is not equal to Mumbai. Okay, so some of the answers I found like they're using the like operator here. Okay, that should not be used. Okay, because we know the exact value. City is not or display the customers from Pune. So we know what is the exact value. I want to display the customers from Pune. So Pune is the exact value we are having. They did not mention like display the customers, okay, whose like city starts with P. No, they did not mention like this. What is the question? Display the customers from Pune. So Pune is the exact value we are having. So when we have exact value, we should write the comparison operator directly, equal to, not equal to. Okay, not the pattern matching operator like. Okay, so like is only uh, like should be only used when there is no exact value we are like aware of. If you know the exact value, you should use the comparison operator equal to or not equal to directly, greater than, less than, those operators. Okay, like should be only used for pattern. The questions like we are having like this: display customers whose name starts with A. Now we don't know. It may be Amar, it may be Ajay, it may be like Ankita, anything it should be. It might be there. We don't know the exact value. So we cannot use the equal to operator directly. Okay. So in that case, we should go with a like operator. But for exact value, we should always use the equal to, not equal to, greater than, less than, exact comparison operator. Okay, so that is one discrepancy I found in some of the answer sheets. Okay, people are going with like operator for exact value. That should not be. Okay, they should not be go with. Okay, same for the not equal to Mumbai. Okay, here also we know the exact value. Whose city is not Mumbai? So city is not Mumbai. Okay, it is not mentioned like not like Mumbai or not like starting with MU, something like this, right? We have the exact value, we should go with this. Okay. So be sure on using like operator, where to use the like operator and where to use the exact comparison operator. Okay, that should not be uh like there should not be any confusion because this is a huge impact. Okay, like operator is very bad for performance. When you have millions of rows in your table, billions of rows in your table, if you use the like operator, your processor will read each and every row. Okay, it has to parse each and every row, where it will take more time, more memory, more CPU usage. Okay, resulting in more cost for running that query. Okay, so like should be very carefully used only when there is no other option to use the exact comparison operator. Okay, repeating again, like is a very bad for performance. So use it very carefully, if only if there is no other any option. Okay, again, this like also can be replaced with some system function. So that also we are going to see starting from like next days. Okay, but okay, we can replace the like operator as well with some system functions, but not every time. So there should be some cases, there will be some cases where you will not have any choice, where you have to use the like only. So there, whenever there is no option, we have to use that. Okay, but yeah, whenever there is another option we are having, we should not go with the like operator. Okay, another discrepancy I found, like some people are like writing the uh, answers. Okay, the question says display customers from Pune, and I see the answers like select star from customer where city is equal to Miami. Okay, why we are writing Miami there? The question says Pune, you have to write the answer for that. Okay, I found like display the orders having status is equal to completed. Here also in order status, I see some different values. Okay, I have the answer like display customers from Pune, Solapur, Mumbai, but in answer there are some different columns or different values I see. Okay, that should not happen. What is the question? You have to answer the question in the same with the same values. Okay, you cannot write here like New York, Washington, or some other cities. No, that is not the answer which is expected. Okay, why it is important? Because in interview, they will ask you the question. They will simply say, write a query. I want to fetch the data from the customers table where the order status is completed. So you cannot write some different value here, right? Whatever the interviewer is asking, you have to write that value only. Okay, if the interviewer is saying, write the find the customers who are from Pune. So you write the query like select star from customer where city is equal to Pune. If you write there city is equal to Dallas, your answer is wrong. He's not expecting that. He wanted to have the customers from Pune. So you should be writing the query with customers equal to Pune, city is equal to Pune, right? So read the questions carefully, okay, and answer in that way only. Here, for your practice, you are creating the tables, you are writing the queries, you are validating the data by running the queries. In interview, you will not have this time. They will not give you the table details. Okay. The interviewer, what he will say is, I have the table orders with columns, order ID, order amount, order date, and order status. That's it. Immediately, he will say just column names and he will say like, uh, write a query to display the customers who's like who has been like ordering from 2023 or display the orders, okay, before 2023. So what you will write, you will write the query where order date is less than the 2023. Where is that question? Okay, this question. Now, yeah, let's say he says like delete the customers who registered before 2023. So we have the registration date. Now, when he say before 2023, you write the query in this format. Okay, maybe instead of this, you write actual date. Okay, you write actual date here like 01/01/2023. So it will look more readable. 2023. Okay, so you write in this way. I see some of the answers with this query where order date is less than 2023. Okay, whether this is correct, let's replace this with orders table and this column with order date. So if I say order date is less than 2023, okay, so it is deleted. But what if he says I wanted to delete the orders only after June 2023? So whether this query is correct, if I say June 2023,
No, it's not correct.
No.
right? So it will delete the records from 2023 as well, from 1st of Jan to June 2023. So 6 month data also it will delete. So we have to make sure like exact conditions we are using. Okay. Uh, Not only the year part or not only the when I now say it is 2023. So we should be 2023 will start with 01/01, right? So before this, we have to delete all the records. If I just use this 2023 year, what will happen? The orders placed on uh, Feb 2023, March 2023, okay, April 2023, those also will be deleted from the table. Okay, there is a chance. Okay, because the year is 2023, but month it is not checking. So exact month, date, and year format we have to use whenever there is. Yeah, if you have to use this, there are some functions, okay, that we will see. But we can just compare. If you just have to compare the year, we can compare only year as well from the date. Now from this order date, it will find out the year only and it will compare with the year value. So in that way we can go. But this is after completing the functions. Now we have exact dates only, so we should use the proper dates format. Okay. Keep in mind, the interviewers will not give you the chance to write the queries, create the tables, and then answer the question. Okay. They will want it to have immediately by yeah, you can just write out the table name and the column names in your notebook, in your notepad, wherever you are writing while interview. Okay, just for your understanding, like he will say, I'm having orders table, column is order date, order ID, then order amount. Okay, and I wanted to find out the customers whose order amount is greater than 10,000. Like this, he will ask, and you have to immediately write the query. Okay, so read it carefully. Okay, so it will be useful for you in the interviews to get the exact expected answers. Okay, don't write anything from your mind. Okay, just go with your go with the exact questions only. Okay.
Sir, I have one question for this one.
Yes.
So, like for example, like from exam yesterday, like when we are like writing the values for the registration date, for example, like show something like before 2023 and for example, if I put like something after 2023, like the data from 2024, 25, 26. So what I was doing yesterday is like, since I don't have anything like any data from 2023, I was like trying to write down my query and then I execute my query and then I write it down because I don't have what you provide because my table values is different, the record is different. So we don't have to do that one, right? Then because I am
Right.
because I don't
See,
have like anything like the data before 2023. So I was doing what actual data I have on my table.
yeah, that should be fine. You have to write the queries correctly only. It is not expected to have the query like the query should be executed correctly. Like it should be ran without any error. That is the first thing. Okay, while running the query, you should not have any syntax error. That is the first thing. And second thing is the criteria you are using that should match the requirement. So when I say I wanted to have the record from 2023, okay, so it should delete only those records. It should not delete the records from 2024, 2025. It should delete only for less than 2023, like 2022 record, 2021 record, and so on. Even though you are not having any records with that dates, it will show rows affected. That
Yeah.
is absolutely fine.
Okay. I because like some of my values because I created the table first and later I answer the questions. So some of the values, even for the order amount, you have like 20,000, but I just only put like 20 and 50 for all my order amount. So I was
Hmm.
doing according to that one. So that's not the right way then.
That should be fine.
Okay. I'm just like, I don't know. So for the interview purpose, like we
Well,
just
we
have to
don't have any
like,
values there. Okay. For interview, they will not give you any values. They will just give the table structure and ask the question.
okay. Okay.
Right. Because you will not have the records like 5 record, 10 records. They will just say, this is the table and I want to fetch the values like this. Okay. They will give the employee table. They will say like there is an employee table. Okay. We have employee ID, salary, employee name and department column. I want to find out the second highest salary from this table. Okay, so you don't know what is the values and all. You just need to know the column name to write your query. Column name
Okay.
and table name,
Okay.
right? And
Okay.
you have to
Thank
write
you.
the query. Okay, so read the questions carefully and try to answer on based on that only. Don't write anything from your own, like changing the values of cities, changing the values of years. Okay,
Okay.
nothing like that. This is
Thank you.
important because if you follow the questions from right now, that will be beneficial for you in your interviews as well. Okay, you will not do anything from your own mind, right? And you will get to answer only the questions what the interviewer is asking.
So, sir, quick question.
Yes.
If we do not have the values that you mentioned, so how do we validate them? We should first validate it's a learning purpose, right? That's why that thing
Right.
happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
For writing the queries. Okay. Now you don't know. If in that way you have to go, you have to first read all the questions first, and in that way only you have to insert the data. Okay, but if you
Oh,
still
okay.
if you think like you are not having
Yeah.
that much time, you can first write the query and later on and after sending the answer sheets, maybe you can just insert the valid data as per the questions, and you can see whether it is affecting the affecting the expected rows or not.
Okay,
Okay,
sir.
if
Forward
not
now we
first
take that.
read, yeah, if no, first read all the questions. Okay, at high level, just get the information like what kind of data that needs to be inserted. Okay, let's say the question says, uh, we have to fetch the data for orders. Okay, having the order status as pending. So we should know like there should be some orders while inserting the data. where we have to put the order status as pending. So only we can get the rows affected with that query. Okay, there should be some rows where we should have the registration date of the customers before 2023. Okay, then only we can validate that data. Okay, there should be some customers from Pune, then only we will get the answers for this question, whether we should get only the customers from Pune city. Right. So you can just read out the questions in case you need to validate it. You can read out the questions and insert the data accordingly. Okay. This was the exam question, which was having more questions, almost 40 questions. Okay. These many questions you may not get for every question, every answer, sorry, every exam. There may be less than this only. Okay, but as we were looking for the where clause, there are multiple conditions we are having. That's why it was having more number of questions in this exam.
Okay.
Okay.
One more question, sir. The
Yes.
question like display customer whose mobile number start with 98.
Right. Yeah. So when we say
From
phone number will always at least will have the 10 characters, sorry, 10 digits, right?
Yes.
So for phone number, we cannot use the integer data type because phone number can start with 9878, anyway, 88. Okay. And the integer data type is like 10 character, 10 digit data type that will start with some 2, 3, 2, 7, something like this. We are having two values. So integer data type cannot be able to accommodate the phone numbers. So phone number should be in a varchar format inserted into the varchar data type like varchar 10, and we should insert the data into this. So when we use varchar, we can use the like operator where phone number like 98, right? Phone number like. Now we know the starting characters, so we can use 98 percentage like this.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So yeah, so these are the some observations I found. Okay, I was got a chance to go through each and every question paper answer sheet. Okay, and I found you're writing the queries in well formatted ways. Okay. Uh, Queries are good. Okay, but there are syntax wise, I did not found any issues. Okay, everyone was having good syntax. Like there was no errors in everyone here. This is for everyone who has sent the answer sheets, right? So there was no error in the syntax, like missing quotes, missing where condition, missing some from clause. Okay, nothing was like that. Everyone was written the queries with a valid syntax only. But yeah, these conditions, I found some of the answer sheets where the conditions were not matching to the questions that I have provided. Okay, so that I just wanted to discuss on this. Okay, apart from this, anyone having any question? We are just lagging, so yeah.
More questions, sir. I'm not getting the like default values.
No, that we have not yet learned. Okay, so yeah, we'll talk about that from tomorrow. Okay. Now, yeah, I'll just give some high-level introduction on that. Let's say we are having this columns here. Okay. So now if you create this table, okay, and insert the data, we have inserted these records here. Okay. Now I will try to insert records once again. Okay. Date or time from varchar string, what I changed here. Okay, this one. Just remove this. Okay, if I insert the records once again, you see the 9 rows are affected. Okay, and then when I see the data from this orders table, okay, I could see the order ID 1 is repeated, order ID 2 is repeated, order ID 3 is repeated. Okay, so there should be only one order, right? There cannot be a different orders with the same order ID. Like let's say you did some order, okay, you will get some order ID. Okay, then when I do some another order, I should not get the same order ID as you, right? Like that is how Amazon, Flipkart, all those online platform works. They will generate a unique order ID, right? So we should not get any duplicate order IDs. Right, same for the employees. Whenever you join the company and whenever you join any organization, you'll get some employee ID. That employee ID were never before used, right? That were not assigned to anyone before. Okay, if it is assigned to anyone else, that may that will end up missing the data, right? Let's say you are they are like giving the salary based on the employee ID. Okay, so it may end up like you are getting the salary for that another employee, and your salary will be transferred to that different employee. Okay, so employee ID should be unique. Same way, you should have like employee ID should not be null. Now, if I say I don't have, let's say I'm inserting the data like this null, and it is, let's say, the customer as a 10. For customer 10, I'm inserting the value here with the null as a order ID. Okay, still it is inserting. Okay, I could see the order ID null is also inserted. Is it possible you place some order and you are not getting any order ID in response?
No.
No.
Is it possible? You are joining the organization and you are not getting the employee ID.
No, not possible.
Not possible, right? So this kind of thing, okay, this should not happen. We should not have any duplicate data into the table. We should not have any blank values for the columns where we should have some value at least, like employee ID, order ID, customer ID, right? Every customer should have its unique identification number. Every citizen in the in the country, they should have their valid identity proof, and that should be unique for everyone, right? No one will have the same SSN number. They will have some different SSN numbers for every person, right? So these kind of thing, these are the limitations we can say, or these are the rules while inserting the data we should be taken care. Okay, like restricting the bad data from being inserted. So even though I'm trying to insert the null values by mistake, that should not insert into the table. Okay, but now it is inserting because we don't have any rules that has been set on any columns. Okay, same for the, let's say I'm having order date. So let's say today I'm giving the order. So whatever the date we are inserting the data into this order table, the today's date should be inserted by default. We don't need to pass the value for the date column. So there should be some default value we should be inserting into the date column if I'm not passing any values, the today's date. Okay, now let's say I'm inserting this record here, record number 3. Okay, with some another amount 541, 514, and I'm not giving the date here. Okay, so what will happen? I will be able to insert the date null. Okay, I could see there is a record. Okay, with order ID 3, customer ID 1112, sorry, 1112, order amount as 514, that is on hold. But what is about the date? If there is an order, there should be date when it was placed, right? It should not be a null, but it is inserting the bad data. Okay, so currently on table, we don't have any rules that set up. Okay, then customer ID. Now, when I am inserting the data into the orders table, the customer should be valid. It should be registered, right? No one like anyone can't just place the orders. Before placing the order, customer should have done the registration, right? Like if you go to the Amazon and you are trying to place the orders, okay, if you don't have the account, they will create the account first using sign up option, right? They will
Yes.
generate your customer ID and then only you will allow to place the order. But now let's say I don't have any customer table, I don't have any customers, and still I'm giving the some IDs and I'm inserting the data. Now who is this customer 112? Where I can see? No, there is no customers with this customer ID. Okay, So that is again a bad data. So while inserting the data into the table, we should check these customer IDs as well, whether it's are valid or not. Okay, that is a kind of rules we are setting. Okay, or the like orders. Let's say initially, whenever the new order is placed, every order should be the status should be let's say in process. Okay, initially for every order. Then after it maybe goes on hold, ready, shipped, or anything. But initially it should be default move to the in process state or maybe ordered state. Okay, so that kind of rules we can set on a table, and that is what called as a constraints. Okay, so there are different rules we are having, which we call as a constraint in SQL Server. Okay, so the constraints are the limitations set on a data insertion. Okay, so constraints are nothing but the rules defined on a column on a table so that we can restrict the invalid data being inserted into the table. So there are different constraints we are having. Okay, I'll just note it down. First is a not null. So not null is a constraint that will not allow any table or any column to hold the null value. Okay, then we have the primary key. Primary key is like it is the key or it is the constraint that will not allow any duplicate record being inserted into the table.
Unique ID.
Then we have the unique key. So unique also it is not allowing any duplicate record. Okay, it will not allow a duplicate record, but it will allow a single null value. So we can insert one null here, but here
That's
not
right.
null plus no duplicate. Okay, single null can be allowed. Then we have the check constraint. So check will allow you to check the values before insertion. Okay, so check like whether the order amount is not exceeding these or age is not exceeding these. Let's say we are inserting the data for the persons or the employees and we are inserting the age as a 200. Whether this is a valid age?
No.
No, right? For a person on earth, 200 is not a valid age, right? So we should have a valid value. So we can add the check constraint there where age is not greater than maybe 100 or 90, something like that. Okay, so we can insert the data using check. Then we have default. This is also a constraint where we can assign a default value for a particular column. Okay, and then last we have is a foreign key constraint. Okay, that this will allow you to make a relation between two tables. Okay, like order should be placed only when there is a customer present into the customer table. Okay, so like that we can establish the relationship between a two or multiple tables. Okay, so we will start one by one from tomorrow on this constraint. We'll start with not null primary key and unique key tomorrow, then check default and foreign key maybe on the next session. Okay, this will not be covered in a single day possibly. Okay, whatever we are able to do, we will cover in tomorrow's session, and then we'll go to the next for the another constraints. Okay, but this is the topic that we'll be covering from tomorrow.
Yeah. This
Okay.
is all like system functions, right?
No, this is not a part of a system functions. This is part of a constraints. So we call this topic as a SQL constraints.
Okay.
Sir, one question.
Yes.
So, like, if we have like a duplicate records, how to delete that one?
Yeah, we will see that. Okay. Either if we have everything same, okay, that will be quite challenging to like that will not be possible to delete with where clause. Now let's say I'm having these records here. First of this and another one is this one. Now anything is different in this record?
No.
No.
Nothing is different, right? So if you use anything in the where clause, let's say delete from this and let's say order data I'm using. order date, I'm using these dates. So still it will delete both of the record. Okay. Then if I use customer ID, still it will delete both the records. If you use order ID, still it will use both the records. So we cannot use any column from this list here to delete this duplicate record. Okay. So such duplicate records can be deleted using some window functions we are having. Okay. But yeah, there is an option to delete this kind of records here.
Okay.
Okay, but yeah, if you don't have any unique values, some of the column is having different value. Like let's say this is the shipped status and this is what the ready status. So you can use condition there where order status is equal to ready and it will delete only one record. But if everything is same, the where clause is not going to work there. Okay, so for that we are having some window functions. We call this as a window functions, row number, okay, rank, rank. So that again, that is a part of our syllabus, but that is we'll learn after the system functions. Okay. This is a good question, very important interview questions as well. Write a query to delete the records or delete the duplicate records or find the duplicate records. So this is an important interview question. Okay. So yeah, we will see this. Okay. Yeah, we'll stop here for today. We'll meet up again tomorrow and we'll start working on constructors.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.